Ricky Flynt is in the house. Good morning, Ricky. How are you, sir?
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
This is quite a spot you've got here.
You like that?
Yeah, I hadn't sat here in a long
It's like
time.
command central there. I mean,
It is.
We treat our guests the right way. We got your coffee. Everything's taken care of.
I got it.
Ricky is the new. Well, I say new. You're getting some gray hair on you now, as far as this job is concerned. But it is the
that came from the previous.
Yes. By the way, and I was going to mention this, and I'll mention it a little bit later about the book I'm reading as far as a game warden. We're going to have him on, but you guys lead an interesting life. Let me put it that way, as far as game wardens are concerned.
Look, it's a great career. You wake up every day, you never know what you're going to be doing next, and sometimes it's very exciting. Sometimes it's very sad, but
yes,
it's a great career, and I don't regret any of it.
It's other than an undercover agent, and sometimes a lot more than that, because most of yours is going to be out of doors, of course. It's just an interesting occupation, and as you said, it goes from just comical to very, very tragic, depending on the call. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. All right, hot off the press, August. In August, you guys just had the Board of Trustees meeting, and my understanding was to extend the application deadline, which was when, and it goes to where?
So the Mississippi Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund is accepting applications for project proposals, and we started accepting applications August 1st. We had an original deadline of September 3rd, and we have decided to extend that deadline to September 16th to give some entities a little bit more time to get some good project proposals in, and just looking forward to see what this next round is going to bring us.
Yeah. Ricky probably did one of the best jobs of any of our guests for the whole year on preparing the information for me, and I do thank you on that one. But I was absolutely amazed. Ricky, this is only with the first year, isn't it?
Well, we're going into the second
full year.
Yeah, we're going into the second year. There was a lot of work done by the Outdoor Stewardship Coalition for 4 or 5 years to get this outdoor stewardship across the goal with the legislature, and that finally happened in 2022. And the legislature appropriated $10 million for 2022. We've already spent that money on 20 projects all across the state. And then 2023, they appropriated another $15 million, and we've already spent that money. And we funded another 33 projects. So we've got 53 projects going right now. And we're accepting applications for our third round, which will be $12 million that was appropriated in the 2024 legislature. So, we could have another 20, 30 projects on board here in a few months.
Is that because I'm going to ask you as far as the matching funds from the federal in Washington, is that matched with some federal dollars?
Absolutely. So on average, we're averaging about, for every $1 that we spend with outdoor stewardship, these projects are bringing in about $3 to $4 outside match money.
Wow.
Some of these projects are bringing in as much as 1,000% match, and a lot of that is federal funds. Some of these projects don't have any match. But at the same time, what those projects are doing are meeting all of the criteria that we are looking for in a project for outdoor stewardship.
Somebody just opened the door, comes in, sits down on the chair, and is there listening to this. They hear projects and funding, et cetera, et cetera. For someone who doesn't know what the Stewardship Fund is, can you paint a picture, just tell us exactly what it is and why it's needed?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, our funds are set aside to provide grant money to state agencies, municipalities, and non-government organizations to do proposal work projects in basically wildlife and fisheries conservation or nature-based outdoor recreation. And we have a set of criteria, about 20 different criteria that when these projects come in, we score those projects based on those criteria, and those criteria are designed to reflect the priorities that the legislature passed in the Stewardship Act bill in 2022. Water conservation, wildlife conservation, fisheries conservation, access to public waterways, access to public lands, these types of things, nature-based outdoor recreation.
We had talked about this for literally several years before it was actually materialized, that we have so much assets here in the state of Mississippi as far as outdoors that we're not taking advantage of. And all of it kind of spawned a little bit with the deplorable conditions that our parks were in. And we talked about that and finding a mechanism for that. Well, we found that mechanism, but in that legislative session, we actually were able to fund this one. But I thought the original dollars we were talking about was $20 million.
The original, well, yeah, that was the original ask, was $20 million. That was the hope. We got $10 million, and we're glad to have gotten it. And then with an additional $15 million last year and $12 million this year. We can do a lot with that money. I think we've already shown that with the production that we have lined out and awarded funds so far. And, don't blame the legislature one bit. When they appropriate public money to be used, they want to know that it's being used correctly. And I think we have done a great job. I think our Board of Trustees, first and foremost, have done a great job. They started from ground zero with something that none of them had any experience with. But they were great minds, great business minds, and they put together a good plan. And, that's where we're going. And we provide reports to the legislature to let them know what's going on and show them where these projects are, what the matching funds are bringing in. These projects are spread out all over the state quite evenly among all 4 congressional districts.
It is, because I was talking about it, you talk about the last year was kind of a formative formation, putting everything in order. And now we're on, like you said, the second year. We're beginning to see some rewards of that. But you said we have here in the material I have 53 active projects going on?
Correct. 53 right now.
I think that would show that there was a need for this.
Yeah, so even to reflect that even more, in the very first application period we had in early 2023, January 2023, we had 104 applications submitted. We were only able to fund 20 of those projects with the available funds we had. There was a lot of money left on the table in available projects that these municipalities and state agencies have a need for. This is
so you're saying that if we had those dollars, the matching funds were going to be there for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Not all the projects that come in have matching funds. And of those that do have matching funds, not all of them provide a federal match. Some of it is a state match. Some of it is private or in-kind, in-house money that they're adding to the project proposal. Yeah. But on a whole, if you look at all the projects as a whole, even those that are not funded, it's still about a 1 in 3 match.
We're going to talk more about this when we come back. Of the 53 active projects across the state, there were 20 in the 2022 appropriation year for $10 billion, as Ricky has mentioned. It went from 20 to 33 in the year 2023 last year, and that was $15 million. You have a total of the amount of federal dollars that this accumulated in those 2 projects, or those 53 projects?
Not right here in front of me. I could probably get it for us in the break.
No big deal. We got more coming up in just a moment. We are back on a Tuesday, August 20th. The Executive Director of Mississippi Outdoors Stewardship Fund, Trust Fund, Ricky Flynt. And I think you touched base on this, talking about this is all over the state. From the Gulf Coast, North Mississippi Fish Hatchery, Visitor Center, a launch at Holmes County State Park, launch at the Columbia State Park, Those are some of the completed projects.
Yes.
And any of these, you have a reef project also on the Gulf Coast of Bay St. Louis. Pretty extensive.
Yeah, that's an incredible project that has just taken off. It was one of the projects presented in the second round that we just got last fall, and it was approved, and literally within a few days of the notice to proceed in letter that was sent to them, they were working, putting that reef together. And it's a reef being constructed in Bay St. Louis, just inland there. It's about 35 acres of artificial reef that has been designed, and got to go and tour the construction, and it's incredible. It's basically completed. Outdoor Stewardship contributed $1.5 million to that project, and there were $3.8 million in match contributed, most of that in federal funds. And it's already producing fish. I had not ever seen how these artificial reefs have been designed recently. You think of an artificial reef as a barge being pulled up, and they just shove oyster shells and rock and limestone off of the barge, and it lands wherever it may. But this is a ultra precision design where they are depositing, I think it's 3.5 yards of limestone in a pile, and if you look at it on a matrix, it is a checkerboard of domes of limestone. So it has a strata that is very different as you go across the reef, and it's not just a flat layer of rock or shell or something like that. Very, very nice job done by the Nature Conservancy, and they have done a tremendous job there.
They will last how long?
Well, I'm told that the traditional oyster shell reefs probably only had a life of about 10 to 15 years, and this is expected to maybe double that.
One of the things we've seen, whether you guys, and you've got a lot of experience in this too, when you try to enhance some of our state lakes or ponds and things like that, we put these artificial reefs up there. It doesn't take 2 or 3 days, and I mean the fish find them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just, whether it's a pond or I guess the ocean's the same thing.
Very responsive, and that is one of the things that we got explained to me was, as soon as the dust settles, if you will, there's going to be aquatic life, fish, invertebrates and things already being attracted to that, and that food web will just continue to increase.
Yeah. Is that open to fishing now, Ricky?
Yes. Yeah, you can fish it right now.
Where is it? Where is it? How far offshore is it?
It's actually between the Gulf of Mexico and Bay St. Louis. So you come inside the bay, it's almost dead center of the bay.
And our coordinates are available somewhere online?
Sure.
We'll be right back.
They'll have all that stuff mapped out and stuff. It's for the public to use, and we'll definitely be broadcasting the exact location.
In the time that we have left here, I do want to ask you this: anything now that you have been in there for a while, anything that we need to adjust or take a look at or add on in the 2025 session per this particular project? Not the project, but the trust fund itself.
Yeah. So, look, we're just tickled pink to get funding appropriated. I think we have proven that there is a need out there. There is a demand by state agencies, municipalities, non-governmental organizations to do work in Mississippi. And this, you don't have to be a hunter or a fisherman to benefit from this trust fund. Mm-hmm. Everybody in this state at some point deals or participates in some sort of outdoor recreation. And so we have the ability to provide and enhance people's lives all across this state with this. So we're tickled to get appropriated funds. We would love to see a tax diversion where we have dedicated funding, and so that we know how much money is going to be coming in every year, and we can plan ahead and know that it's out there. That would be great.
Yeah. That didn't find favor with I think the lieutenant governor. I thought it was a great mechanism to do that, and maybe if we put another couple of years behind us and improve this even more, I think it's proven itself already. But what Ricky's talking about is that of the 7% sales tax, take 2% of that on anything sports related. It's almost like
0.2.
0.2. I'm sorry. Not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 0.2. That's right. I had quoted one time 2%. It's not. It's 0.2.
And it was also looking at a diversion of sports.
Life jackets, rod and reels, anything sports. It's almost like the things that qualify
it's not
for school.
It's not an across the board
tax.
0.2%, but off of sporting goods. So and look, hunters and fishermen are already contributing their fair share to outdoor recreation and wildlife conservation, and it doesn't hurt a thing for everybody else that is benefiting from it to have a little buy in the game. And
we could outdo $10 million on day one the price of what ammo costs now as far as shotgun shells.
Just hunting and fishing and bird watching alone contributes $2.74 billion in revenue to this state. It produces over 66,000 jobs. That's just wildlife and fisheries, not including forestry. Outdoor recreation, sports recreation, these types of things. So, 255,000 acres of fresh water in this state that is available to us to recreate on. And we've got great projects coming in where there are already facilities and land that is public, but we're able to enhance those properties with additional projects, walking trails, visitor centers, educational centers, places for the people. Look, the outdoors is our classroom, and it is also our playground. Why shouldn't we be contributing as much as we can for people in Mississippi to be able to learn more, to be able to participate more and recreate? You got to do something else besides work. And if you're not working, you're probably spending your time outside doing something.
Man, listen, more now than ever before as far as family, that you get a chance to get out and get away from all of the electronic noise out there and everything else. You need it more now than ever before.
Absolutely.
And we've got the great assets to do that. Whether it's hunting, we talk about hunting and fishing, but hiking, bike riding, camping,
yes,
you name it.
Yes.
There's so many different things out there, or just picnicking in a park somewhere. Well, it was a couple of years ago. Somebody mentioned to me, they said they had a large marshy area. It was great for bird watching. They wanted to put a wooden boardwalk through it and asked me, would that qualify?
Absolutely.
And I said, I have no idea, but I will ask.
Absolutely. In fact, we have some projects like that going on right now.
Bird watching is one of the big things today.
It is. That's
the Gulf Coast has done a pretty good job of that.
Oh, man, the Mississippi Gulf Coast is one of the most highly sought-after areas during the spring migration. These millions of migrant birds that are coming from South America to North America every spring is the first piece of ground that they can put their feet on for hundreds and thousands of miles. They need a breather, and Mississippi is a place for them to stop.
I've often thought that the Mississippi Flyway along the river is a lot of opportunity there.
Oh, yeah. All those miles and miles and miles of sandbars that are created by the Mississippi River create habitat and food for all these migrants that come in. You think of these shorebirds coming to the beach, but they also occupy those sandbars up and down the Mississippi River just as much, if not more.
Deer hunting, the first time I've ever deer hunted a long time ago on one of the stands was right on the edge of the river. Roseate spoonbills. And just, I
never a
absolutely
dull moment if you're standing on the Mississippi River. Never a dull moment.
White-faced ibises.
Yeah.
It was just remarkable. It was had more fun bird watching than deer hunting at that time.
Right.
We have some absolutely, positively beautiful opportunities out there. We just need to take care of them, and I'm glad you guys are here.
Yep. Let's
Thank you,
enhance
sir.
them and
Please
make
don't
them
be a
better.
stranger. Look forward to getting you back.
Good seeing you.
Ricky Flynt, Executive Director, Mississippi Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund. We've got more coming up next.